Hey everyone! Say hello to my little friend. The best hair care product in the world could be closer and cheaper than you think. Sebum is a thick, waxy oil that's created in your sebaceous glands found alongside your hair follicles. So as you can see, sebum actually starts coating your hair before it even comes out your scalp. When sebum reaches the surface, it gets mixed up with sweat to form a protective layer called an acid mantle. This waxy, acidic oil is supposed to act as a protective barrier for your hair and skin. The cause of a majority of the challenges anyone with textured hair faces has to do with the nature of our cuticles. Due to all the bends, curls, and kinks, our cuticles are more susceptible to damage and are more likely to lift, especially around the bends. Complete sebum coverage virtually cures all of that for two main reasons. First is 100% organic and moderately hydrophobic, so it stabilizes the amount of moisture your strands take in and hold on to. Here's a better way to understand this. Usually when your hair is wet, it looks and behaves perfectly. Your curl pattern is way more visible, and it's a lot easier to style or detangle your hair without causing any breakage. Then for some reason, your hair quickly dries, almost like all the water it was holding just fell out. It looks and feels like a Brillo pad. There's no curl in sight, and even the slightest touch causes breakage. Does this happen to you? Did you just assume that's the way your hair is? Well, it's not. Sebum's hydrophobic properties prevents this intense moisture loss from happening. If your strands are fully coated with sebum, when it dries, it traps in a small percentage of water. So even though your hair is no longer drenching wet, it still keeps many of its benefits. Your curl pattern is more visible, your strands are flexible, and can withstand manipulation without breaking. And overall, it just feels and looks better all day. The second reason why sebum is so special is because of its acidic pH. Pause this video and click the links to these videos where I go over the details on the important role pH plays in the health of your hair. Sebum's acidity encourages your cuticles to lay flat, which is what we want because now that the sebum coverage is doing most of the work of retaining moisture, you no longer need to open your cuticles as much to achieve moisture penetration. That sounds a little confusing, so let me explain. Usually, life for someone with textured hair involves many deep conditioning sessions. We use heat to help our cuticles lift so the moisture can penetrate enough to last for a couple of days. So as you can see, we are constantly disturbing our cuticles to maintain some level of moisture in our hair. But with full sebum coverage, moisture retention is stabilized, so there's no need to disturb your cuticles. I'm not saying you won't need a deep conditioning session once in a while, but with complete sebum coverage, you'll definitely need them less often. The coating of the sebum is doing most of the work we're usually forcing our cuticles to do. So the fact that sebum is acidic is an added bonus. The environment it creates helps our cuticles lay flat and untampered. That's a big deal for all textured hair types. So if you're like me, you're probably thinking, yay, this is great. So how do I take advantage of this? How do I use my sebum? For textured hair, this is the challenging part, mainly because it's so manual. The water-only method is a process of trying to do just that. Here's a link to a video that goes over the details of this method and my personal experiences when I tried it for the first time. In my opinion, the water-only method is not necessarily appropriate for all kinky hair types. Specifically speaking, daily water rinses and completely omitting any use of products, even organic products, can do more harm than good. So here's a safer alternative for achieving complete sebum coverage without putting your hair at risk of excessive breakage. sebum is usually very thick and waxy, so it moves pretty slow, and due to all the elaborate kinks, bends, and curls and textured hair, your sebum can get trapped on your scalp, creating intense buildup. Scrunching and preening is the safest way to move your sebum buildup from your scalp to your hair strands. Full coverage cannot be achieved in one day, so until then you can use any organic oil to coat the sections of your hair that your sebum has not reached yet. That's really important because, as you can see with the water-only method, the uncoated sections are highly prone to breakage and matting. I've also found that sweat and sebum work hand in hand. The acidic pH, heat, and moisture associated with sweat breaks up sebum and makes it a lot easier to achieve full coverage faster. So the best time to scrunch and preen your hair is after you've worked up a sweat from working out. If working out is not your thing, you can try using any organic acidic spritz, or wearing a shower cap for a few minutes, or scrunching and preening after taking a steamy shower. All these options work well at loosening up your sebum enough to spread it. Unlike the water-only method, scrunching and preening does not have to be done every day. Try fitting it into your lifestyle, no less than once a week. Remember that your goal is to be consistent, so try to make a scrunching and preening plan you know you can keep. The water-only method is not for everyone, and it doesn't really need to be a water-only method. You can pick and choose which part of this method to use, and you can also use oils, spritz, and do a protein treatment once in a while. Here are some great videos from my fellow YouTubers. They all show you interesting ways they've customized the water-only method to benefit their hair type. As always, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.